This is Reality Investigations, Critical Thinking on the Fringe. In this episode, I will be discussing the Devil's Footprints. There was a more recent sighting of the footprints in 2009, but in this episode, I'm only discussing the most famous sighting that occurred in 1855. On the night of February 8, 1855, after a light snowfall, horseshoe-like marks appeared in the snow. These marks appeared throughout the countryside of Devon, England, for about 100 miles, and appeared in straight lines, claiming to have marks up houses, walls, and even stopped on one side of a river and began again on the very other side. Based on the length and space between the footprints, it was said this creature had to have been biped and did not have 4 legs. The clergy at the time called them the Devil's Footprints, that the devil himself was out looking for sinners. Many townspeople went out looking for the creature that made these mysterious markings, but there has yet to be a verdict on this strange phenomenon. There were many ideas as to how the prints came to be. Some suggested that it was a couple kangaroos who had escaped from a menagerie, but many didn't find this plausible since the footprints didn't resemble kangaroo markings at all. Others thought it could have been the work of some devil-like thing called the Spring-Heeled Jack, a notorious troublemaker who was known to defy gravity and was very violent, who had also been seen in England around this same time. The third claim was that Devonport Dockyard released, by accident, some sort of experimental balloon that trailed 2 shackles on the end of ropes. This would explain how the footprints went over walls and across a river. It was said that the reason Devonport didn't come clean about the balloon was because it was also responsible for damaging several buildings nearby. The footprints measured 1.5 to 2.5 inches wide and 8 inches apart. They were said to spread across towns as Dopsham, Lympstone, Exmouth, and Dawlish in the south of Devon. The marks were described as horseshoe-like or could have belonged to a fawn, but was said to be biped, and no animal could actually walk over walls. It was said that some investigators are skeptical that the tracks really extended for over 100 miles, arguing that no one would have been able to follow their entire course in a single day. Another reason for skepticism, as Joe Nickell points out, is that the eyewitness descriptions of the footprints varied from person to person. One article that I read said that maybe it was freezing rain that had made the odd shapes in the snow and would explain all of its strange occurrences. Even though freezing rain may explain the odd places the markings were found, I think that it was too random to be considered the best possible explanation. The best possible explanation I think there is for the Devil's Footprints is the experimental balloon that was accidentally released, because it would explain how footprints showed up on top of rooftops and across a river, and also how it covered about 100 miles in one evening. For Reality Investigations, this is Kaylee Larson. The opinions expressed in this investigation are strictly my own.